I decided to just go out back and take a short flight off the back step, more or less. I start videoing through the drone lens, and I've included that on the controller up in the top left corner as we get going. The red ring you can see around that is the protection on the drone that prevents it flying. It's got all round protection cameras. So I'm now just taking off and going up above the house, and I just get up to have a look round. That's Pendle in the distance, which is not too bad, and it's a pretty overcast day, looking up towards the backfield where I shot the last video, and the houses that have all been built over the last few years. Up there is Nelson Golf Course on the right. So once I get my bearings, I'm up at about 150 feet. I start to move the controls. I've altered quite a few of the settings. The reason that I needed to alter them was after my first flight I got so many of them that were set wrong. Right, I'm turning round now and just moving down slowly, away from the house and down Marsden Road. Just panning and having a look round. The big building you can see in the distance there is a general hospital. We'll get a little bit nearer as we get there. You can see on the controls the information on the bottom says I'm now gone up to 250 feet and I'm moving away slowly, and it's just on cruise control. I'm taking video as I go, and when I stop like that and the inbuilt video disappears, it's because I was taking photographs. I carry on down now. I'm going quite down. What you can see there is called the Old Casterton Avenue, and that's a hospital there on the left, and that carries on down there to Combe Road. You can see right down in Burnley, it looks like there's a fire down there, and there's the hospital, which is now quite enormous. I mean, it was right, they're continually building the building now. That one you can see in the centre towards the top is a partially built building, which is going to be a very, very large home for older people to go in so they don't get stuck in hospital. They've got somewhere to go where they can be cared for. We're now moving on. I can see in the distance, right down Combe Road, right towards Burnley itself, Queen's Park and the rest. The map, I've got rid of the map in the bottom left hand corner there of the controller screen. It's telling me where I took off from, that's a H and so on. Very, very good and easy to understand. Quite a nice quality video. Zoom in on the car parks at the hospital, you can see the new buildings. Quite interesting really. And I'm just moving and just having a quiet look round. You can see the new ambulance station there in the forefront, the yellow vehicles. That of course there is Braycliffe Road, which leads down to Queen's Park and Thompson's Park in the far distance. You can see by the red box that's in the little video, that means I'm actually recording. That's what you're looking at. This is from the camera, obviously, on the drone, and the small video is from what I'm looking at on the screen on the drone to control it. There in the distance is prairie, playing fields and so on. Probably a lot of these you won't remember. I'm turning round and coming back, and now I've set the automatic return to home, and you can see the green pathway that the drone's going to take flying back to where I live. And you can see the little H there in the centre of it. The histogram on the left is just controlling the colours, making sure they're not too dark, not too light, and so on. We're flying up, we're not going too fast now, we're doing 26 mile an hour of course. There's not too much wind, so it's not a problem. And as we carry on going, you can see as I come up towards, now that's the green in the exact centre now of the screen is our house, is the left hand one, and that's the green outside, and we're moving up now. You'll soon see the house and Veronica's little car stuck at the top next to that white one. Nothing's much changed other than I've had a big fence put up. We like a bit of privacy. We're not going naturalist, but we like a bit of privacy. The drone's stopped now, and it's looking, and it's just looking down at the green. Her little car's there. Now I've stopped the video shooting and I'm just gone on to what I'm seeing on the screen, what I'm looking at. As I said, to move the drone into land, you'll see it actually land now. And it's not very accurate today for some reason. I don't think. Up at the top there, across the top of the screen, you can see there are 27 satellites it's connected to. A very good signal, that's the RC signal, and still 65% of the battery, which will last 20 odd minutes. Now it's showing where it's going and it's optimum. It doesn't have to climb. If there are obstacles in front and the green path hit them, it'll climb over them or go round them. And now it's coming, and at some point it'll turn the camera down. And once it does, it'll land. As we come down now, you'll see that as the camera's lined up, it's not lined up correctly on where it should land on that circular one. And of course all the different protections on the drone will prevent it running into the washing line and so on. In a minute it'll stop. It's worked out that it needs to move a little bit to the right, and it'll flip the camera up, and there I am, looking as handsome as ever. And you can see that all around it there are obstacles, but I'm bringing it down, and I'll move it a little bit to the right eventually, and then it'll just land and stop. As soon as it lands, it cuts the rotors out. You will notice that I'm still in my pyjama pants, which I prefer to call them leisure pants, and my slippers. I shall get a good view of in a minute when it lands. I'm having to force it to land now because there's too many obstacles around it. And down we come, and we'll hit the deck. And once we hit the deck, we're done. The circular thing at the bottom left corner converts to a map, a simple map, or you can have it connected to Google Earth and complicated. You see the height's now 0, distance from that's just a little bit of an error, and of course I'm allowed to, it's got RAW and JPEG, so a good do all around. Just a couple of photographs taken from it. This is the big general hospital. It's a massive site now, and in the distance, that's up near the top there where that building is with the red stripes. It's a care centre to allow older people to be moved from hospital and then go home. It's a really massive hospital now. It's right along Casterton Avenue, which you probably won't remember, and that's Hessenford in the background, which is a big industrial estate. This final photograph is just a picture where I stop the drone up in the air and I do a panorama straight round, and it sort of unfolds it and lays it all out in front of you. There's a hospital in the middle. Up to the left of it is way behind, and going round right to the right, and it's a really strange one to do, but I enjoy doing it with drone. It just stays there and it just does it. Just see Pendle there on the skyline to the right.